anyways, do we have any questions today?
Did you say the CDI team was comprised of physicians? So they were working along with the physicians, or do they have physician advisors along with the CDI?
Oh, where I came from?
Yes.
It was physician to physician. So we, and we wanted to go with another company, but our C-level people really wanted to keep it in-house. So what we had done was we got physicians that were either retired or cut back on hours. One was a surgeon, one was a family practice, and they basically, we trained them, we gave them some tools, told them what a DRG, we worked with them, and the coders met with them. We met with them once a month. And we would just discuss things, like they would want more information on coding, and we had that ability. And what they did was, so if we said, if it's a CHF, if you're on the floor, you need to leave this sheet in there that asks the doctor, was it acute, there was a sheet that was acute or chronic, systolic or diastolic, and they would leave it for the physician. But what was cool was the physician signed it. So it was really physician to physician. And that's what the CEO at the time wanted, and we thought it was a little not so, but it did work. I'm just saying. It was different, but it seemed to really work. So, but then, they were so clinical, and they wanted to just put stuff in, and then we'd had to keep, if, it doesn't meet the criteria, you can't just put it on there because you see that the patient has this high BMI, you need the doctor to write the obesity or we can't pick it up, right? So it was a lot of learning, it was a lot of work, but it was interesting because the physicians seemed to respond very, very nicely to the other physicians, or they would just call them and they would just say, hey, you brought this patient out of surgery, it's definitely, that H&H is that far down, and it went through all the criteria, and you need to make that an acute blood loss, and boom, it would be done.
What size was this facility?
It was about 325 beds. It was a decent size. Who else had a question? Yes?
Yeah, when you have the list of where all the codes or the diagnoses are coming from,
Yes.
after you code it, do you still have access to the original list, or do they get eliminated once the coder edits?
Right. Now, and there's functionalities, when I first met, like with our IT team, or with our demos and everything, they would go through all these steps, and there's a screen where you could see all diagnoses, and there's a screen where you could see all procedures, and then you can take out and you can move to the principal, and you could do this, and I'm like, wait, if I'm coding a chart, I need to jump to the encoder, right? Because I have to get my optimization. I have to see if I'm missing anything through my analyzer or whatever I'm doing. I'm not going to waste the time and clicking. I'm going to go to my encoder first. I'm going to optimize it, get my DRG. Then I'm going to take out or put in whatever. I mean, it's going, if you have an abdominal pain and it's a diverticulitis, of course you want to automatically click it out. But then there's like a history where you could see what was taken out, and that was my thing too. What if the coder took out something the CAC did and I didn't know, right? So there is a tracking mechanism, but once they take it out, it actually is out. You're not going to see it. Because you got to remember, once it goes out to the DRG, comes back through the CAC, out to the encoder to get your DRG, comes back, then it's going to go straight to billing once the coder closes it out. So they'll pass it on. Does that make sense? Yeah, but there's a history. You can always track the history in it because it's technology, so that's nice. Yes?
Once you submit the bill, you said for auditing, you can track back that coded bill.
Yes.
Where you find it.
Correct. Correct. Absolutely. Yes?
Going back to the automated CAC, how would you ensure that the order made it to your EHR? I mean, it's great that it picks up, that you can train someone to type in a diagnosis. Again, if the physician wrote rule out anemia or something,
right,
you still have to know that. They can't just take out the rule out and just write in anemia. I guess my main concern is how do you ensure that the order made it to the chart if this thing is just auto-billing? And
well, I don't know how everybody else did it, but I was in my DNFB every day. So anything that was outstanding was on that DNFB. So I knew what was not coded, which helped me. And that would be my thing. If it's hanging there, it didn't go through the system. But if there is an issue and if something doesn't go through, it's automatically shooting it to a coder. It's not going anywhere. So that's what it would do. It would alert whoever you have them alert it to and say, this can't be coded, it's a rollout.
I guess my main issue is that how would you ensure that the order, because you can't bill it without the order. So how would you ensure that the order was there in your EHR for that lab or that x-ray?
Yeah, I mean, ours were automatically there, so yours don't automatically get in there? They're scanned.
Because the orders that we're right now until our HID is in progress.
Right.
Orders, eventually it will be an automated system, but right now the orders are scanned if it's a specimen drop off and it goes to the lab, they register and they scan the order in. But we have something always.
But your billers would still have access to it though, right? So if they needed it, they could still pull it. That's the idea, right? So that's the idea.
You can, but how would you know it was missing? I mean, without an audit, you have to audit all of those auto bills to make sure that they.
Yeah, you would.
Was there.
You would.
It's just that when it's going, it's like in here is what I get concerned about. Whereas how do I ensure that order is there?
Right.
Right now, the coder looks at it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
See, ours didn't do that because, well, ours was the electronic.
Well, they code all of the labs and the x-rays. So when they pull it up in the EHR and make sure the order's there, and then the order has the diagnosis on it, because that's number 2. The order has to have the diagnosis.
Right, right.
So if it's not there, then they track it down and get it in there. But if
You don't know what you don't know, right?
yeah, but I'm saying, we'll have registration typing in the diagnosis on the admitting side.
Right.
But just because they typed it in doesn't mean the order is there, so I guess that's my point.
Yeah, ours.
I'm a belt and suspenders person.
Well, I'm sure there's a way. I just am not aware. There is a way. There's a guy right behind you shaking his head, yes. Like I said, all the systems I've been on, they're all electronically in there, so I'm not sure. But so if there's a way, he said. So I think you'll be fine. Any other questions? No? Okay. Well, you're done early today, so thank you very much.